service team to make sure that we keep on top of any requests. On the other side of this flyer, it just shows the other way to get information. If you are comfortable with the putting your email address in, we encourage folks to sign up for rate change announcements. That means that when we set rates, which will probably be this Friday, we will be sending out a note to many thousands of people to say, on the 1st of August, this is what our rate will be. So again, you have another month, just like you did when you did the first original enrollment, to make a decision as to whether you want to stay with Community Power, go to another provider, or the opposite. If you're with that other provider, maybe come back. That's the whole idea of the program. So with that, I feel that I don't want to get too much further into this and allow the selectmen to ask their questions, but we have given you a couple of pieces of information about what I was talking about in terms of how utility supply rates are giving a bit of a false comparison right now, and I would encourage you to read it and then invite you to ask any questions if you're interested. And with that, I'll hand over to the select board.
Thank you. Thank you. George, you have anything?
No, I'm fine. That was, I thought, very good.
Okay, nothing to add?
Nothing to add.
Okay. So one of the reasons I will bring up one of the complaints that we've been receiving, and we've had, I can't nail down the dates like you did, so it's been a couple meetings in a row. We've had residents come in with concerns about the opting in, opting out type thing. And you know, we had gotten a letter back in the past from a person by the name of Kelly. I guess she works out of your office, I guess, and explains that Community Power will not apply a termination for another stuff. The Community Power will not directly switch individual customers' enrollments, opt-outs, and supplier changes executed by local electric. So if a customer moves to a new service, receives a new utility account, in the future no longer tied third-party supplier. So pretty much all these are just saying the fact that we will not, if someone opts out, we will not put them back in again. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's actually working real well. So we've had several residents come bring it to our attention of multiple occasions of being opted in and opted out. Frustrated, obviously, and we're fielding these complaints and just ourselves wondering what's going on, which is one of the reasons why we wanted you to come in and talk to us and stuff. So I think that's a large part of what's going on in the town of Loudon, as well as, I mean, people can talk about the rates. I mean, the rates are the rates, and you cannot, and the offer to opt out is great. However, people aren't they're getting opted back in again. So again, maybe it's that time frame, and I think some of the people are here now, and some of the people can speak on their own for that. But I know that's one of our complaints. Hold on, that's one of our complaints. What's being brought to us,
right?
And so we feel we need to probably address that tonight. And
I certainly can address that at some. As I suppose what may have caused this is a enrollment in Loudon Community Power doing what we call a refresh, which means that from time to time, if you come into town, you will be automatically enrolled as a default customer of your utility. So in the main, folks at Eversource. And from time to time, we would send out it's a postcard, but it's very similar to the original enrollment letter that explained what's going to happen ahead of time. And we did do an enrollment this year that would have gone out to some folks in Loudon. What can happen, now we use the term internally inadvertent enrollment. I'm not suggesting with our nearly 200,000 customers mistakes can happen, but they're not that common, and if they are, it is our commitment to make it right with any person who is affected. But what might have happened, because I have heard about this in some limited other cases, is that people either move within town, or they may add another meter, or have some reason to have another separate, unique account from the utility. What we do when we do these refreshes, as we call, is that we get the data from Eversource, and we compare it against the people who are already enrolled and those who have opted out. And if there is a unique account number that is not recognized, that person would receive one of these enrollment mailers. Now again, I'm not suggesting that that is a perfect system, but there is no real practical way for us to know that that individual is not a brand new person to town and not somebody that has separately opted out. Because just a name comparison might not be the right thing to do. It is certainly something that we're sensitive to. And if somebody has opted out and they have received this and they are in some way enrolled and then find out later and get in touch with us, we will look into that. And if they've been inadvertently enrolled, we will reimburse them. Is that a fair characterization, Jackson?
Yeah, I think to more simply summarize it, I think that your explanation was spot on. But, you know, yeah, the common cases of complaints about this is someone opens a new electric account, they move within town, they add another meter that is identified by the utility as being a new eligible account, and then will appear on our periodic enrollment list. And so, you know, if there's a complaint about that, we're the guys that ultimately will deal with that complaint. And yeah, you have our commitment, as Andrew said, to make that right with any customers. And anyone in this room that has had issues, please, that's what we're here for. We're happy to help, you know, work through your particular case.
So now there's a gentleman that's been opted in, opted out, opted in, opted out, I think. So he stood up a second ago, so if you don't mind,
Yeah, I mean, please.
come on up and just say your name and address the issue.
All right. Hopefully I can be reasonably clear. Larry Caruso, 94 Chichester Road, if you're keeping track of that. Thanks for coming in. I do appreciate it. Whoa, we can't lean on that, can we? No. I'm a little nervous up here. I'm not here about your rates. I really don't care. I could not care less about your rates, because myself, as well as I think everybody else in the room with brains in our heads, are quite capable of picking and choosing amongst Eversource or you or many of the other power companies. So the rates are the rates. They don't really make a difference. I know you talked a lot, Andrew, about the rates, but it doesn't matter how you do business as far as how you set rates, what's happening with fees and whatever. It doesn't really make a difference. What makes a difference to me is the whole opt-in, opt-out process. I happen to have here, this is something that I received from TDS Communications. It's a flyer. They like my business, they're soliciting my business. I brought it for a point. I can throw this in the trash. I don't have to worry about reading this to see if I might be getting opted in, if TDS is going to somehow sign me up. I just don't. It can go right in the trash. And then a little bit closer to home, your home, I have one here from Clean Choice Energy, and it's got this big long thing. It's got more stuff in here. I don't have to read it, because I don't have to worry that I'm going to get switched over to Clean Choice Energy, that I'm going to open up my electric bill where I don't usually look. I didn't used to. That's another thing. Now I'm looking at my doggone bill to make sure I'm still with whom I chose. So I don't have to look to see if maybe this Clean Choice Energy has snatched my business as a customer against my free will and choice. I just don't. I can throw it right in the trash. Gone. So now we go to community power. And for the record, because of what you had said about sometimes they'll move in, maybe there's a little glitch because someone gets a new apartment or buys a new home in Loudon. I've been a resident of Loudon since 2012. I have not changed my home. I have not applied for a new meter. Nothing has changed. Like many people in Loudon, when everything was getting set up, I made the call to opt out. Now, this is the letter that I received as part of that initial thing. I received this May 1st, 2024. The bottom part, towards the bottom of this letter, it says that I have to do it. I have to opt out. The switch is going to occur on the day the meter is read, starting in June of 2024. That was when all this stuff started, right? So I made the call. I opted out. Then, in November of 2024, I got another letter. One of the interesting things of this letter is that most people I talk to in Loudon had not seen the letter. Probably, this is my guess, I don't know for sure. I know these gentlemen wanted a copy of it. I think that just like Clean Choice Energy, it went in the trash because they had already opted out, Andrew. They had already opted out. So you don't have to read these anymore. It's junk mail. I read it. I'm glad I did, because this one says, unless you opt out or choose a different option by calling us or visiting our website within 30 days, you will be automatically enrolled into our Granite Basic Power option and start saving money, which was also kind of a lie. The switch occurs on the day your meter is read, starting in January, which would have been January 2025. Your meter reading date is shown in your bill. I did nothing but just living my life in Loudon. And I should not have to watch out for this. None of us should have to watch out for this. This is sneaky business, maybe because you're not doing too well. Maybe, I don't know. It's a possibility. But it's not good business. It's not doing good business with the town of Loudon. It's not bargaining in good faith with your selectmen here to be doing these kinds of things. You made a statement when you were talking. I wrote it down. That once people opt out, you won't opt them in again.
Correct.
Not true. I was going to be opted in if I hadn't have made the phone call. It's infuriating. It's just infuriating. So that's my only beef. Other than that, what's done is done. I was one of the objectors because I believe that we should have the free choice. I was an objector to the automatic opt-in process. The town spoke, I went along with it, I made my phone call. It should be a done deal. That's what I think that I and a lot of other people are upset about. I've heard grumblings from people that are upset with the way things were handled when they discovered that they had been opted in against their will. So that's third-party information. I wasn't, privy firsthand to that. But because I heard the similar stories from many different people, I tend to believe them. And I think most people would, because the story is remarkably the same, no matter whom you talk to about things like this. So what I think happened was letters like this go out and they don't get read. They go in the trash. You guys nab another sneaky customer, or it falls through the cracks, or there was a computer glitch or something. That's got to stop. What I would propose to the selectmen is that you had said you would reimburse us if we are inadvertently switched. In addition to why should we have to worry about that, I think there should be a penalty. Because right now I feel there's a penalty. I take time every month, it's not a lot of time, but I take time every month to look at my bill and make sure that I'm still with the power source that I chose. That's my time that I'm spending because of you guys, not you, maybe you, I don't know, but because of your company. And I want that to change. I want to no longer have to worry. I want to no longer have to look at my bill unless I want to go shopping for another energy provider, and then I'll go to the websites, I'll look at the different options, I'll make my choices, I'll opt into somebody else or I won't. And then I'm done. I don't have to read mail and make sure no one's trying to sneaky peek me in. So it's not too much to ask, is it?
No, it is not.
No. So,
Have we had the opportunity to engage with you? I don't know, you mentioned the last enrollment that you were receiving information was back in January 2025, but has that been the last time you heard from us?
this was postmarked 22 November of 2024.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you said
And
that would
Opted,
enroll you in January 2025.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I did call.
Mhm.
I called and said, hey, I don't want to be opted in.
Yeah.
More of my time spent. And again, to you gentlemen, I think there should be a penalty. You know, whether they have to reimburse us $100, $50, there should be a penalty. Enough of a penalty where it's not comfortable, so that we should not have to worry about getting opted in. So in addition to reimbursements, it's stealing. You know, they're making our mind up for us. I don't know, there's all kinds of things you can call it, but none of it's right. It should never, ever happen. So in addition to the whole, we'll fix it, we'll put you back, it never puts it back 100%. So I think there should be a penalty. There should be a monetary reason that companies tend to pay more attention to. Maybe there should be the risk of, if it happens more than a certain number of times, that the contract is gone, null and void. There's plenty of other choices out there, gentlemen. You know, all I want out of this, and I think all that the residents of Loudon want out of this, is to be able to make a choice of their own free will and never have to worry about getting sneakily opted in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but you've shared something that is a completely valid concern, and I'll hopefully after, if you're willing to share a little more information, I believe we got your address. I would like to research your case and review this internally with our customer service team and figure out what exactly happened, because that should not have happened to you, and we try to work very hard to make sure it doesn't. And in addition to reverting your account status, which of course we do, Andrew mentioned reimbursements, and to the effect that there's any negative financial implications that were caused by a situation like yours, we do work to quickly provide a check to those customers to make them whole. And yeah, I mean, I personally take this stuff very seriously, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us.
I'm not the only one. These guys know that I'm not the only one, because they've received the emails from people.
Yeah, I don't want you to get confused about the amount of people in this building right now, because there's far more than that in our town that's reaching out to us both via email and wherever we're walking around or whatever, but there's a lot of people in town that are having this same problem.
I'd like to ask, can we get a clear definition of what a change of service is that would trigger an opt-in for, like you said, you change the name on the bill, you get you bring a second line into your house, or what exactly are the things that would trigger an automatic opt-in? Because like he said, it didn't seem like anything's changed. It's been his name, like me, for instance, if I added my wife's name or my wife added my name, whatever, does that constitute a change?
No.
Can you just
it should
be a little more clear on that?
Yeah, it should only occur upon the creation of a new electric account, which we would consider to be an account number and a service number tied to that account.
What
So-
about, I'm sorry, I thought you.
No, go ahead.
What about if someone had come off of another energy supplier? Like, I believe that prior to receiving this letter, I believe that I had just come off of, I think it was Direct Energy.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That's a good point.
I shouldn't.
So that's the primary case. You're also making a very good point there. If you were identified as being enrolled with another competitive supplier and you opted out, and then you came off of your contract, the utility, which is who we're getting the information from, may have relayed to us saying, hey, this is a new default account that's become available in town, and therefore your system's going to treat it as such. And similar to creating a new electric account, it shows up as a new available account for enrollment. Now, we should have, and this is what I want to review in detail, indicated your preference to not participate at any point in the future.
Yes.
And it sounds like that didn't occur. So I need to do some internal investigation and make sure that, frankly, any internal actions that need to be taken to correct that, for that whoever was involved are taken.
So I have a question. He's, obviously we have a resident here at the podium addressing this issue. What's the best route for our people to get a hold of somebody to rectify their problems as far as this goes? Opting in, opting out.
If you, the selectmen, are receiving information, get Brenda to send me that information personally. She has my phone number and my email. And you don't need to go through customer service, and we will make it right. I brought here tonight, not quite knowing who was going to be showing up, a sign-up sheet. We don't have to put people through hoops. We don't want this to happen. It might not impress you to think that we are, you use the term sneaky. It makes my flesh creep. I am determined to be not sneaky. This is not who we are.
Well, it was. It was, sir.
You're,
With respect, this was sneaky.
well,
If I hadn't opened the envelope,
yeah.
you would have opted me in. That's sneaky.
I can understand why you're making that point. I'm just trying to elaborate the fact that that should not have happened, and our process we can always do better, but our process is, we're not making it difficult, like shoving it off to customer service. If there is a real pain point, we want to know about it fast. We don't want to put people through hoops of, oh, I'll get somebody to get back to you. Just press the alarm bell. You've got the red phone. Honestly, I'm not glossing over this. This is very important to us, and I do care about this, and we want to know about our deficiencies.
This is the envelope.
I see
It does not say anything on this envelope. Urgent, open envelope. Please read. You're going to be opted in if you don't read it. There's nothing. Just looks like junk mail from Community Power.
I will agree that I had the comment from somebody in another town just a week or so ago saying, can you put something right on the front, the one I've got here that went out earlier this year, important electricity supply rate information. We think that's good, but the person speaking to me said, that looks like junk mail. And we have control over this. We can do better, and your suggestion is well taken, and I think we are seriously considering something to alert people. This should not end up in the trash.
You know what the best thing would be, sir? If you have confidence in your company, you have confidence in your company surviving as a company, you should not have to do any of this. Even a new person comes to town, you could just send a flyer out. Hey, we're here. But it shouldn't be an automatic opt-in. Automatic opt-in is only for someone that's a little bit nervous and wants to keep getting those people in. Because knowing that most people are going to sign up, and then you just kind of forget about it on your bill, and you just don't go looking for other choices, and, oh, maybe this clean energy has cheaper prices, I'll switch over to them. Oh, that's a pain in the butt, I'm not going to do that. You just stay there. So if you have confidence, then change the way you do business, okay? Because I got a bunch of stuff here. I read the law, that I read the way some of the stuff was put together initially. I read I still have a copy of the the initial advertisement in the Loudon Ledger that was not put forth correctly. I mean, it was just really strange how this was all done, sir. And so, if you really have confidence in your company, consider doing that. And then we don't have to worry about things like that. It would stop everything. Wouldn't have to worry about any of this, and yet reading all the things to make sure we're not getting opted in. Right?
Sir, can we give someone else the floor, maybe?
Sure can.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? You got the floor.
How you doing? My name's James Troon. I'm 114 Lovejoy Road here in Loudon. I don't really have a question pertinent to the opt-in, opt-out, with the exception of the fact that I don't feel I ever got satisfactory validation and confirmation that because I'm a solar user with net metering, that I won't get opted in someday without my knowledge. When I called customer service during the initial enrollment, I was not satisfied with the answers I got other than, well, it's our policy, we don't do net metering. I said, well, what can I get in writing on that? Nothing. And I still to this day have nothing to prove that other than perhaps if I went and scoured your website, I'd find something, but I haven't done that in a while. So I think, you know, aside from everything Mr. Caruso just expressed, and I thought he expressed pretty well, that the whole mandatory opt-in model, given the environment of multiple supplier that existed before this came to our town, is unique, and I understand where some of that came from with, you know, regulation changes and things, but it's unique enough where I can see where it most definitely caused confusion. And I think that as the town, and some of you were here and some of you weren't, and some of you are directly responsible for advocating for this and some of you weren't, so I'm not holding any individuals responsible anywhere. I'm just suggesting that there's some onus on you as the current model to really make it clear. And the fact that we're more than 18 months from his last event and we're still having clarity issues that we had to hold this meeting is a big red flag for me. So now I'm taking my time out of an evening where I had other plans originally. And I'm coming down here because now I'm even more uncomfortable with the fact that I don't have anything validating that my net metering won't be impacted, that I have to come down here and voice that concern directly to you. And I find that to be an unacceptable business model, much like he had for other reasons unacceptable business models that he perceived. And that's all I really want to say is that I would really like to see better communication, better, more clear, concise step A, B, C. I know in the initial stages there was a pamphlet and a booklet that came out, and I was at those meetings and a lot of people were confused by it, and you can never make something that everybody's going to understand. I get that, but I do feel that we really have to try to just keep it as concise and you know, like as direct as possible, because what happens, I think, is, and this is something I learned at 30 years of my career in corporate America, is you get away from the bullet point and you get lost in the minutia of explaining your bullet point. And that's what confuses people. Stick to your bullet points. Make it very clear what their steps need to be. And if they have questions, give them a resource to get the answers to those questions, but make the bullet points and their necessary steps very, very clear. That would be my only advice at this point. But thank you for your time.
Thank you for your advice. And just to, if I may respond.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so as a net metering customer, we look for those flags from the utility prior to ever submitting any enrollments to filter out those customers, because we want to do our best to ensure that you would never be impacted. If we can get your information, I would love to provide you something in writing and look at your account, because you have asked for that. Yep. So if we can follow up with you, that would be great.
I'll see you after the meeting.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
How many communities do you think you're up to now, as far as over 100?
What's that?
How many communities?
So we have 68 local governments that we work with. That's 64 municipalities in 4 counties at this point. Within that pool, we have 50 programs, inclusive of Loudon's, that operate, and we serve collectively approximately 190,000 customers.
And are you seeing the same scenarios, or?
There are fringe cases that occur, like the gentleman described earlier. We take those seriously. We look into all the details that have occurred. There's a internal reporting procedure that's followed. And Andrew and I personally spend time trying to rectify these. We don't rely on some outsourced customer service team to deal with those escalations.
What would you estimate the complaints at? How many?
The what?
How many complaints?
Ones that I think we've actually received and read about, it's hard to tell because
20, 25?
yeah, probably
More?
20, yeah, anyways.
Yeah, that would surprise me. It's certainly possible. And sometimes there is, confusion about someone's account situation, and that's why, when these things do arise, we like to do thorough research and fully understand, explain to them exactly what happened. If we ever find that there was a misstep on our part, we rectify that. That is our business model.
Okay. I heard a version of a story of someone adding a hot water heater meter onto their hot water source. Does that automatically trigger a opt-in?
It wouldn't trigger the main account to be opted.
But it would
That
trigger
hot
the
water
hot water
meter
meter.
could be enrolled. Yeah.
How about geothermal? Would that, because I know geothermal has traditionally been 2 accounts. One for the actual transfer pumps and all the technology, and that's usually, or traditionally has been charged at a much lower rate. Is kind of the advantage of the geothermal for the minimal electricity that you use. They don't charge you the traditional rate, it goes down. But the rest of the house would obviously be a second service. I only know that because we looked into this when we were choosing a house,
Sure.
and we chose against the geothermal, but I do know that I would say potentially somebody going geothermal, that would trigger a second account, which would trigger something from you guys. But I also know that geothermal's always had its own little niche with electricity, and I don't know if that's a state or just the utilities themselves, but I know there's a difference with things
Yeah.
like that.
If there's a very specialized type of rate class that's identified, like geothermal, if there's a specific EV type of rate class or otherwise,
Right.
then we get indicators of that from the utility. And we don't offer rates that are custom to serve those types of accounts.
Okay.
And so that should be flagged in our system.
So it'd be the opposite then for people who have solar and, maybe in the summer months, they're putting more in than get, you know what I mean? So they got a bill of 0 when it's really, really sunny, but we get to a January, February, they might have a minimal bill. Is that in your purview?
Yeah, so as I was explaining earlier to the gentleman who approached the
Yeah.
podium, we work to try to do our best to not enroll those customers.
Okay.
Because the utility is the one that pays them out for their excess solar that they put on the grid. That's something we'd like to be able to do in the future, and we're actively working to actually provide better compensation for those customers than they can get through the utility, which is really undercompensating them for the value of that solar
for the
energy.
sale back.
But at this point in time, that is our process.
Okay.
Anything else?
I'm good.
Anybody else in the public? Dave?
David Moody, 176 Clough Hill. In March, I looked at my bill. You guys have attacked my hot water heater meter. It's been on the house for 32 years that I've owned it. When you first started this, I opted out on all my accounts. April, you switched it over to my household meter, which made a big difference because my electric hot water heater hardly runs.
Okay. I will if we can get your information, I'd like to look at your specific
Yeah,
situation.
and when I called to switch it over, they said, well, you've got 2 meters. I opted out on the accounts. Done.
We'll make it right.
So whether I got 2 meters or 4 meters, I opted out on that account.
Yeah, it sounds like there was a processing issue, and as Andrew said, if there was, we will make it right.
I hope you do something to straighten things out.
Nope.
I think it's a hoax.
You've got my promise on that, so let's talk after.
Yeah, we'll be wrapping up the meeting here. We're gonna wrap the meeting up pretty soon, and then you guys can hang around and provide your information to these guys, and they can look into it. A couple things I wanted to double check though. George, you don't have the contract in front of you, but principal representatives, you're on the list still?
As
As far as-
Yes, I am.
And Dennis is that still gonna continue? Your 2 names are still gonna be there?
Dennis
Dennis?
Jakubowski?
was on it, but
Yeah, no, now
I've
it's,
been on it for almost a year.
Okay, so I'll get your name, because we have to update with these guys.
yeah.
When the names change, we have to update, so. I got the information on how to do
Yeah,
that.
our records are updated, and we do recognize on your website that Jerry has replaced Dennis. Although you may be referencing the contract,
Yeah.
it isn't, I mean, notification has taken place, and we are aware and recognize that, but if you
So it's
want
kind of
to
a
make-
living document?
It is a living document. So, I mean, the principal executive officer, for example, is typically a town administrator. Well, you know how often town administrators change. We're not having to redo a contract if a town administrator's moved on, or indeed if a select board member was the original. It isn't material to the contract.
Okay.
But thank you for being diligent.
Yep.
We're always interested in keeping our records clean and up to date.
So we have an old chairman that's on the contract, that's been updated to somebody new?
So,
I'm just double checking that,
yeah, I have your
everything's lining
contract
up.
here, so I can, the contact points that we have are your member representative and your alternate representative, and as you said, that is still George, was Dennis, and is now Joe. We have the principal executive officer, Brenda, who,
Okay,
God willing, will continue in Loudon. From our side, the CEO is no longer in, but the board chair, Clifton Below, is actually the secretary, but he's there. But again, these, as the wording around it say, is not material to the contract still being in force.
okay, I just wanna make sure that our contract is,
The authorized officer, Jeffrey C. Miller, is still,
that was my question.
yeah. And what we do in the absence of that person still being the authorized officer would default to Brenda as the administrator.
Okay.
But that, if you were to want to, what you have here in terms of your authorizations, so I'm taking too much of a dive in the weeds, and we can go offline.
Yeah,
about
that's fine,
this.
yeah.
But you voted to not authorize your authorized officer to take any independent action. The Board of Selectmen are the people that make the decisions on, for example, just changing a rate
Yeah.
from the default.
Right.
But if Loudon isn't going to take any steps to do anything different than the Granite Basic offering, then there isn't really any role for your authorized officer to
Gotcha.
have to take. If we get more engaged and we get into contracts and things like that, we'll revisit that, but it's not an issue right now.
Sounds good, I just wanna make sure we're
No, thank you.
up to speed
Appreciate
on
it.
that, so. Anybody else? Nothing? George, anything?
No, and in fact, I'm glad we're ending it because I need to be home by 7 o'clock.
Okay, all right. Well, I do appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for coming in and explaining with your presentation and answering some questions. And if anybody wants to hang out and give them your names and stuff so they can track the stuff down and start the process, that'd be awesome.
Please do, and I have business cards here, and if you want to pass any of those out to any members of the community, I can leave some with you.
Okay.
But Brenda knows where to find me.
Okay, no, sounds good. All right, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 6:52 from Community Power.
Second.
Motion made by Selectman Goodall, seconded by Selectman Griffin, all in
Yeah,
favor?
absolutely.
I-